Hello everyone, I'm John. I'm an American, but I've been living in China for 18 years. In this video, I'm going to take you out in Shanghai for an evening stroll, and we're going to get some food and see some of the sights. We're going to visit the Bund boardwalk. So this boardwalk alongside the bank of the Huangpu River is the most iconic image in Shanghai. So we're going to show you that. We're going to eat some really classic Shanghai soup dumplings. So basically the most famous Shanghai food internationally are these soup dumplings. And we're going to go to the top soup dumpling restaurant in Shanghai, Nanxiang, for these dumplings. And also we're going to walk around the Yu Garden area. So Yu Garden is a famous Chinese style garden complex, and we're going to walk around there. They also have a street food area. So come with me and we're going to go check it out. So when you're looking at the Lujiazui financial district, it's really a magnificent view from the boardwalk. This boardwalk is on the Puxi side. So basically all of downtown Shanghai is separated by the Huangpu River. So the Huangpu River separates Shanghai into two sides. Puxi, so that's Puxi, that's the old side of the city, Puxi, the classic side. And then Pudong, that's Pudong. Pudong is the modern side where you see these very futuristic buildings like in the Lujiazui financial district. You know, people always talk about how they remember when they first came to Shanghai and they looked over at what is now Lujiazui, all these futuristic buildings, looks like a spaceship, and they just saw cows and water buffalo grazing in the fields there. And now it is today this very amazing place. On the Puxi side, the Bund is the centerpiece of what used to be the Shanghai International Settlement from around the year 1860 to 1940. Really, this came about because of the colonial powers. So basically around 1840, China tried to ban opium from being sold in China, and they destroyed the opium in the harbor, in Canton Harbor. And this caused a retaliation by the British. This was the Opium War, the first Opium War. The Chinese lost the Opium War because British had very advanced weapons and navy at that time. The Chinese had to sign the Treaty of Nanking. So in this Treaty of Nanking, basically they ceded the land of Hong Kong to the British, and they also agreed to 5 treaty ports. So basically these cities, Canton, Xiamen, Fuzhou, Shanghai, and Ningbo, were all trading cities where the British could have traders living there to do business in China. This is the really dark history of Shanghai and the Bund, is that without the Opium War, we would not have these magnificent buildings on the Bund, which is really like a bitter pill to swallow because they're nice buildings, but they were really built on the suffering of the millions of Chinese who were addicted to opium in the 19th century. So the HSBC building is the largest building and most magnificent of the neoclassical style buildings on the Bund. In 1923 it opened. At that time it was the second largest bank in the world. It was the largest bank in Asia. 在太阳镜还能看得出来东西吗？就是为了拍照带的。Alright, we're gonna see if we can get up to the roof over here. Now I'm going to go into this restaurant. So this is to show you what it's like at these restaurants on the Bund. This is a upscale Italian restaurant. So this is what it's like if you're at one of these restaurants. You can look out at the Lujiazui skyline and you can see the sights. You can see all the futuristic buildings. It's a very nice background to have. So a meal at a restaurant like this is going to cost about 30 to 40 US dollars per main course. You know, these international restaurants on the Bund, they service mainly the Chinese community who are interested in having Western food and who need some restaurants for date night, or the expat community who are based in Shanghai or frequently travel to the city and then want a variety of food options. But I feel like if you're just coming to Shanghai for a one-off trip, then you should really focus on getting some authentic Shanghainese food while you're here. This restaurant, Lost Heaven, it's a really popular Yunnan restaurant. It's a great choice if you want to eat on the Bund, although the view isn't as good as restaurants that are directly facing the financial district skyline. as I was walking around, I got the idea that I could take you guys to eat some really classic soup dumplings. So I hopped on a bike and I pedaled over to Yu Garden. So Yu Garden, this is one of the top tourist destinations in Shanghai, basically for this garden compound that was built in the Ming Dynasty. So this Nanxiang soup dumplings is in the center of Yu Garden. It's a restaurant. This restaurant, you can see it's been around since 1900, so it's the most famous soup dumpling place in Shanghai that serves these soup dumplings in a nice atmosphere, a nice upscale atmosphere. So Nanxiang is the name of a village that's actually part of Shanghai where this Xiaolongbao first was sold. So that's why the restaurant is called Nanxiang. Actually in New York there's another soup dumpling restaurant called Nanxiang, but I believe Nanxiang in New York is unrelated to the Nanxiang in Shanghai, although they're both named after the village where the Xiaolongbao was first introduced. I ordered the food using their WeChat app, so I've chosen some of the most classic dishes like soup dumplings, the spring roll. You can also see the recommendation from Dumplings, so this is the most popular food review app in China. Alright, so the food is arriving. Shanghainese food is characteristically more sweet than other parts of China and not spicy. It's funny when people always say, oh, I am from Shanghai, I cannot eat spicy food. Tofu skin dish, cold dish. This is a sweet gluten dish, and then this is a sweet fish. So let's get at these first. Tofu skin. Pretty good dish. Eating at one of the most famous restaurants in Shanghai. There's the fish. Nice. Sweet fish. And then this is the gluten. This is basically just a sweet bread puff. This is a crab spring roll. All right, let's get at this while it's hot. Oh yeah, it's way better than your average egg roll in America. I need to pour myself some vinegar to go with this. Put some of this fresh ginger, dip it in the vinegar. That's about the top fried food you could eat in the world. This is a mushroom. So you can see from the crowd, most of the people here are probably tourists or visiting Shanghai and here with friends, but here for this very authentic Shanghai experience. All right, there are the dumplings on the cart. When are they coming over here? All right, there's the dumplings. The amount of leavening, so the amount of yeast in the dough, will determine how thin the dumpling skin is. These dumplings are characteristic for either having pork or a combination of pork and crab in them. Usually I order the small Xiaolongbao, but this time I tried one of these big soup dumplings, which is actually the first time I ever tried one. 这个汤包是怎么吃的啊？我没吃过，我怎么吃这个？我先把汤洗一下，是吧？对，先把汤洗。All right, first I gotta drink up the soup here. Let's get at this. Crab soup, can immediately taste the crab. All right, let's get at one of these. Exploding with flavor. A lot of juice in these dumplings. Very delicate skin. All right, so this is a very classic Shanghainese meal. Pretty good overall. Gonna take some home. Got these 2 boxes to go. Nice. Gonna keep walking around this garden area. So this is a very touristy area. I would say the most authentic place to visit here is this dumpling restaurant, which we just visited. If you want to walk around and take in some traditional Chinese architecture, even though this architecture has been impeccably renovated so that it's basically the same as walking around a Disneyland. If you come to Yu Garden during the day, you can visit the actual garden, but you have to buy a ticket. I think the ticket is about $15 US. So if you are going to other places in China, like Suzhou or Hangzhou, where you're going to be visiting traditional Chinese gardens, you could pass on this garden. Depends on your trip itinerary, really. I mean, if you're only coming to Shanghai and then going to see a factory and then going to leave China, then of course you should go see the garden within Yu Garden. The truth is, there's no Chinese people at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night in the middle of Yuyan. Only tourists. What the heck is this? And you can see they have a lot of street food. So, corn dog. This used to be sold by mom and pops, but now, because of food safety measures, all of these mom and pops have been turned into this food court, street food. In Chinese, it's called Xiaolongbao. So it's like snack city. So this is a food court essentially. Fried shrimp, pork chops, fried noodles, fried rice. This is really for the tourists who come to Shanghai from other parts of China and they just need a place to show them the street food where they're not going to get lost. Crab. Guotie, this is a type of dumpling. Zhongjian, these are the Shanghai dumpling. Wow, this is impressive. Many people in tour groups will wear matching hats so they don't get lost. They actually packed this place out on a Tuesday night with tourists. Look at these soups with the white fungus. Sweet soups here. Supposed to be good for girls. Wow, wow, wow. Tuesday night. Can't believe this is still busy. Wow. 这什么骨头？牛骨。牛骨头。这么大的。Wow, that's a huge bone. Got rice noodles, got noodles. Nice. 这是真的吗？是真的吗？还有这个。这是假的。Unbelievable. I did not know this scene existed. Honestly, the food looks pretty nice on camera, but I would say that the flavor of this food, none of it is gonna be the best representation of what this food should be. Street food scene in Shanghai. Tuesday night. Churros. That's what's up. 38, that's pretty expensive for churros, even in Shanghai. Wow. This was a pretty classic night in Shanghai. So we walked on the Bund boardwalk, we saw the Lujiazui skyline, and then we went over to Yu Garden, had some dumplings at Nanshang, the most famous dumpling place in Yu Garden. And now we're just ending the night walking around, seeing what it's like. So this was really a good day if you're in Shanghai and you need to check off some of the core Shanghai sites. This was a good way to do it.
Oh, you're so sweet.